Hey guys, I wanted to leave you with this activation today around the energy world and really going into translating and decoding the truth and the reality of that rather than actually the misconceptions or the ideology that we have. But the thing is, this video is for you if you're feeling like you're wanting to decode a little bit more, but maybe trust yourself a little bit more because you're seeing through the veil and you would like to understand how to navigate that a little bit more, how to trust yourself, how to go further into your intuition, how to fully go into that journey without any more doubt. Because the thing is that that world, when it's open, it literally can bring a lot of things out, but at the same time, it can be outwardly, it can be trippy, it can be alien, whatever you want to call it. So we are not programmed or designed to fully embrace it. So maybe this video is for you to be able to fully embrace yourself a little bit more, or maybe you're feeling like there's a lot of deceptions going on in and around you, and you would like to decipher what is really at the core, the true energy, and what is actually BS and deception. So first thing I want to say is that the energy world is not what we think it is not what this trendy kind of concept, this idea of like, oh yeah, this bad energy, oh yeah, it's good energy. Actually, not at all. That's not how it functions. And that's why the very first thing I want to say is that the moment that you've been handed the gift of seeing through the veil, the moment that you've been handed this gem of being able to tap into that reality, you want to treat it with respect. You want to treat it with full respect. And in order to treat it and honor it with respect, it requires honesty, it requires humility, it requires ownership and responsibility. It requires one to fully be their truest core self. Otherwise, we are lying to ourselves and we are lying to other people. Otherwise, what is really going on is that the ego is taking a hold of that reality in pretense. Because I speak a lot about this in my channel, is that the ego is an intricate thing. Because even when you have access, or you're stepping into your light, or you're stepping into these higher dimensions, these higher aspects of yourself, these higher vibrations, whatever you want to call it, what happens is that the ego is still present on some level. So what happens is that it learns at the same time, it learns the keys, the codes that whatever yourself is also experiencing. And when it doesn't like it, or when it's actually in a specific moment where it's the most alive, through defense, through protection, through survival, in those moments it can come out and start utilizing those different activations or keys that you've uncovered or unlocked within yourself in those dimensions or the vibrations, and utilize them. So one of them is, when we say, oh, it's bad energy, it's good energy, it's positive energy, that very first layer. And many utilize them when actually it's not really energy. It's not. What is going on is that they're seeing through their distorted lens and utilizing the concept. So the ego is actually the one running the show. The shadow is the one running the show. It's not clear, it's not crystalline and pure in terms of seeing. What is happening is that it's distorting a specific reality, which is, the concept of energy, and manipulating it to actually suit its own narrative, suit its own story. The energy world does not lie. And the energy, that's what I'm saying, goes beyond what we think it is. Anybody that says that they have fully comprehended, they have fully mastered, they have fully accessed all the territory of the energy world, I am afraid that that is not true, because it's an uncharted territory. It's like all of a sudden you entered into an era, into a space where it's so deep, it's so multi-layered, it's so dense, it's so light, it's all spectrum, that actually it requires at all times the full trust and the connection to oneself, the connection to higher intelligence, and always asking, what is the higher truth? Every time asking, what is the higher truth of what I'm seeing, of what I'm perceiving, of what I'm feeling, in order to navigate it and dance in that world. Otherwise, we can really abuse that power, and it's really the ego running the show. That is why it's really a space that requires of us to break open, to break our heart open. The heart is the navigator. The heart is the one that will be able to see through purity what is really going on, what is really happening. So when we say energy doesn't lie, it's not just a vibe that you pick up from people. And then again, are you really picking up that vibe, or is it your judgment from your own lens of perspective? These are very important questions to ask. And in order to know is first and foremost be real with oneself. That's why I'm saying it requires to access, to bring that energy world inward. One cannot access, navigate, read, translate the external energy world that is happening on the outside of the web if they have not fully understood it within themselves. That is how you understand it, is when you know your own shifts of energy. And what I mean by energy, that's what I'm saying, it's way beyond a vibe that you catch from people. Everything is energy. That movement is energy. That movement is consciousness. Is there consciousness? Is there awareness of the energy when I'm moving like this? Or is there unawareness? The web that is around us, the field, the quantum field. Now, everything around, is it empty? It's not empty space. All is alive. Are other dimensions existing here? Yes, probably. How can we know? We can't with our own physical reality, but it requires this intuitive insight. If you had your light body activate, you're feeling that your sensory reality is opening up. You're sensing, hearing, feeling things that are happening all around you. How foolish is it to think, oh, it's just your imagination? It's not. This is the web. But the thing is, this is the thing that I want to talk about, is that we say that we are all one. What does that mean? We are actually connected through that web. The web that is all intricate, all intertwined, everything. Even here, all the different ripples. This is all energy. It's literally as if you want to see it like an ocean, right? That is an ocean of energy just happening around you. But it's way beyond that, because if we are interconnected, what is really going on in between? Is the interconnectedness only stops there? Oh yeah, we're one. No, we feel each other. We sense each other. What happens in one person creates a ripple in my own reality. What I do creates a ripple in the other person's reality. And these are the dynamics that many people do not fully comprehend or understand. That is the level of being intertwined. That is the level of awareness that is required for somebody to own their own energy. So in the sense, if you've come into your space, and that's what I'm going to talk about, is because in order to understand, it's both, right? It's a parallel, it's a mirror. But in order to understand how to navigate the dynamic with other people, to navigate that energetic dance with other people, first and foremost, what is that web? What is happening? What are those codes? What is that reality that is happening in your own web, in your own energy field, in your own quantum field? And that requires true honesty. And that is what I'm going to talk about, because the level of deception that we are in, the more it's actually revealing is that how much we've deceived ourselves and how much we are used to deception. That's the thing. So many of us say, oh, but I don't lie, I'm very honest. Well, it's layers. How honest can you be with yourself? And the energy world is transparent. That is what people don't understand. It's transparent. What is seen cannot be unseen. So if we come all together, sit all together and say, you know what? All is revealed. All is visible. Because we've been under the amnesia, we've been under the veil where telepathy has been closed, we've been shut down, where the reality only exists through what we say, and then what we say makes the other person believe whatever we want them to say. And then if the other person is not fully in their own connection to self, they might believe that deception, right? That's the world we live in. Just say the right thing, and then that's how it functions. Say this thing, and that's what you will get. Do this thing, and that's what you will receive. If we've come together in a space where we've shattered all this, and we said, you know what, now we're going to turn on a light, a lamp, let's call it this way, a lamp, that will show everything, that is a transparent light, where we don't need words, we don't need actions, just pure energy. For everything to be revealed, the facades, the masks, the layers that we've put on ourselves, but also the lies we've told ourselves, where deep down you're feeling miserable, you're feeling like dead, you're feeling like you're resentful, you're full of hatred, but you're just standing there, I'm fine, I'm good, everything's fine. Shh. No. And be real with yourself, be real. What is really going on there? Oh yeah, I feel very disempowered. I feel this, I feel that, I feel this, I feel that. And that's it. That is the space where really we're tuning into the energy world, where we're taking ownership of everything. Because as I'm saying, this has energy. Every movement has energy. Every thought has energy. And if we can accept that we are feeling each other, why do we need to hide? We don't. Let's allow that full veil, that coat that we've been used to wear, to let it all go, and how easier life would be. Because then it's real, then it's raw, then it's truthful. And that requires courage, because there's all these different barriers that come in and say, no, 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 I can't accept myself. Because it's so difficult to accept that the stories that we've carried, it's so difficult for us to accept the things that maybe the battles that we've had within ourselves. It's so difficult for us to accept our light. It's impossible. It's easier to self-doubt. It's easier to doubt divinity. It's crazy. So how much can we look into that and see all the different barriers that we have created, we have put on ourselves? Maybe they originated somewhere else. That's fine. That's the root of it. But now they're here within us. And yet, it's difficult for us to accept, because it's difficult for us to allow that raw, real energy inside to just emanate, which is really you, breaking open, breaking in humility, breaking your heart. We don't. It's much easier to hold the guards. Much, much easier, because that is what we're used to. So back to this, that the energy world is something to be taken seriously, and with humility, and with trust, that everything is awareness. But how many of us are ready to own that reality? That this is the true meaning of energy. Not just stopping it as this high vibration, low vibration. It's good vibe, bad vibe. This person's negative because whatever. No, 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 no. Like the real energetic entanglements, energetic weaving, the real energetic movements, where body becomes consciousness, where my ear has intelligence and awareness. So my movement like this, what drove my movement? What drove those words to come out of my mouth? What drove this feeling? And it's beyond distance, right? It's beyond distance. That's why even the energy work that I do is distant. And it's through the video camera. Like, It doesn't need this illusion of like, no, it's through distance. None of that exists. We know that, but let us move from the concept to implementation. Yeah, we know that. Okay, but now live it. And how much do you believe it if someone told you that? If someone told you something from far away, that there's those interconnectedness in all things, how much do we own it? That is the question. How much, what would it take? Both, because that's the other thing. That's what I'm saying. The energy world is not what we think, because we think it to be, it's nice, it's magical. Yeah, I love that we're all one, and I love you, and you love me, and we're connected. Now, what about the shadow? What about the dark aspect of it? What about that? Are you still up for it? Or just the magic balls and the playing with the field is enough? That's not what it is. That's why it's the path of the warrior. To own their energy. What is inside them? What is inside you? What are your thoughts, your belief systems? What makes you you? How do you move through your day? Not in pretense. Not in pretense. Not because you know that, oh, I should be moving slowly. And then you start taking on that facade of moving slowly and smiling and namaste. No, no, no. You. Just pure energy, raw, naked you. That's it. Because even that doesn't lie. That's what I'm trying to say. So even if you're putting a facade, because that's what you think, your mind deciding what true energy is, it's not how it works. And you know what? Yeah, it's trial and error. But the guiding force is raw. When you're raw with yourself, you're not trying to hide something. If you're trying to hide something, but you're real with yourself that, oh yeah, I'm trying to hide something because I'm feeling uncomfortable. That's it. That's it. You're one with what is in your energy. Your energy is peaking first. You're not trying to emit something that is not what is really your core self. There's a discrepancy. And that's very important, because the more that we are moving through this world right now and things are going to accelerate, the more things are going to become visible. To say something so important here is that the web is made up of threads. And those threads, you want to see, where are they hooked towards? What are they weaving? It's all threads. It's all webs. We're all interconnected. So you probably have a thread linked to your neighbor. You have a thread linked to your family. You have a thread. We have threads all around. You have a thread linked to the collective of that space you're living in. You have another thread. It's all weaved together. Literally, this world is a maze of inner within inner within inner within inner separations. It's like every little thread that is connected to something, if there's no fully ownership of it, on some level, it could create a distortion, a separation within. And so it's really this maze of bringing out, emanating out your true, purest reflection all the time. Being all the time the highest reflection. What I mean by highest reflection is that highest truth, your full, raw, real self, the higher awareness. At all times, the one that is fully navigating the energy realm and understanding what is going on, where it's your responsibility to own, where is your own stuff and your own shit to own, and where actually you need to identify that it's not your stuff. And what you're doing is that you're interconnected, interwoven with others. And can you bring that clarity in that moment? But that requires for you to fully trust yourself, fully. Because the more you trust yourself, the more you will go with that. You will go into those journeys. You will go into those trips. The energy world is the real world. The hidden world is the illusionary world. That's actually based on facade. That is based on automations. That is based on unawareness. That is based on manipulation. That is based on mental intelligence, on information, using information to make sense of reality, and then manipulating in order to survive. That is the entire world. That is a deceptive world. The energy world, which we have programmed to fear, which everybody, all the dark forces, whatever you want to call it, through any sort of character really that will maybe come into your life, want to try to stop you from fully actually seeing, fully have clarity, seeing the truth, seeing the world for what it is. So really, that is the path of the warrior. If you're a warrior, that is the level of full dedication, full ownership of the reality of the energy world. How ready are you to live that game? The game of energy. It's not for everybody because it requires facing, courage, and it requires action and transforming, alchemizing. It requires radical acceptance of everything. Really seeing through the energy world is first and foremost removing that idea of the lala world that we may get from the energy world, or like, oh, the so connected, and really doing the real inner work. That is the path of the warrior. Really doing the inner work, witnessing one's own automations, asking one's own intentions, realizing the shifts, the internal shifts of energy that take place. Where did they originate from? What threads are they plugged into? What is really going on that is creating this? And then taking ownership of it rather than just project it out. It's all of the outside, and it requires this confrontation to confront oneself and maybe to be confronted. And actually, none of this anymore matters. Once you understand that this is the game of energy, this is the real inner work. No more fear of being confronted or confronting, because as I said, now there's this transparent light that is shining all over the space. So there's no more pretense, there's no more hiding. And understanding that we're all in that same shit together. We're all in that prison grid. So what are we here to be? We're here to be that light for each other. It's not a competition. It's not a place of comparison. Each one of us has their own gifts. It's just a matter of trusting ourselves enough, trusting our light enough to claim that, so that then in our own way we can be the light for ourselves and others just by being ourselves. It's not like you're carrying the torch and going and pulling people out of their shadows. No, it's just by you doing your own inner work, because energy speaks. You then emanate it. You don't need to prove, convince, tell things. You just are. And very few are really up for it, because it really requires untangling from all things and really not dancing with the shadow. And a lot of people still want to dance with the shadow or in the shadow. That's okay. Everything has its own timing. But I don't know. It's really a personal choice. If you see your own shadow and you know that you're dancing still with it, do you still want to dance with it? Or do you want to really bring that inner warrior within you? Because you know that your full devotion is to God. Your full devotion is to the light of awareness, to the truth, to the truth, to your heart. Unlock those keys, unlock those gifts. It's your birthright. I trust that this message is for you because you feel like you're that warrior of light. And you feel like you're ready to really do the real deal energy work. Not the fluff, not the superficial deal, but the real one, the core one, the genuine one, the raw one. Because the warrior of light is not the one that is just connected to the light, is the one that has been to hell over and over again. That is the path. That is the path of the true warrior of light. So really, I invite you, start somewhere. Take that step, whatever that step is. If you're feeling you're wanting to activate a little bit more of that awareness, a little bit more of learning how to navigate that world, you can reach out to me. We can do some of that work together. Allow yourself to step into that world more. Don't be afraid. Really, don't be afraid. Take that leap. Whether you're already in it, you already navigate it, but you're wanting another level of understanding or translating the space that you're in, translating the energy world, translating your reality from an energetic perspective. Or if you feel like you're ready, you feel like you have your toes in it, but you're wanting that next step. Either way, we can do that. Let me know how that resonated with you in the comments below. And again, if you're wanting that extra navigation system, I'm happy to support you. I'm happy to work with you. And otherwise, of course, please share this message if you feel like other people would benefit from it, and subscribe to my channel as well. Okay, take care. Much love.